Okay, so you want to blow up your Facebook business page, right? Well, get this. We found some killer advice, and it comes from the most unexpected place. You ready for this? An Instagram podcast.
Instagram, what?
Yeah, no kidding. It's called SocialWick, and these guys, let me tell you, they are serious about cracking the Instagram code. But here's the thing. Buried in all their Insta wisdom, some absolute gems about engaging your audience. And guess what? It applies to Facebook too.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with this.
Exactly. So, first off, let's talk about why Facebook is still a big deal in, 2025? I mean, everyone's on TikTok and, well, Instagram, right?
Great.
But even the Instagram gurus at SocialWick, they get it. Facebook's got reach, like massive reach.
It's huge. Something like 2.8 billion people are using it every month.
Yeah, exactly. Think about that. 2.8 billion potential customers. Okay, so if you're trying to get your business out there, you can't ignore those numbers. And a Facebook page, think of it like your online storefront, you know?
Yeah, it's the first thing people see when they search for you online. And if it's done right, it can really pull them in.
It totally can.
Yeah.
Now, SocialWick, these guys, they were really hammering this point home. Before you even think about growth, you got to nail the basics.
Oh, yeah, the foundation.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for Facebook, what does that mean? Well, let's start with the easy stuff. Your profile picture and your cover photo.
Like first impressions.
Exactly. That profile pic needs to be crystal clear, you know? Your logo, if you've got one, and the cover photo. That's your chance to show some personality, bit of flair, high-quality images, something that screams, this is what we do.
Mm-hmm. Visuals are huge. People
Yeah.
scroll through so much content these days, you got to grab their attention.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's one I know I've been guilty of skimming over, the About section.
Oh, the dreaded About section.
Yeah, but SocialWick, they flipped the script on this. They said, think about it from the customer's point of view. What's going to make them stick around? Actually read the thing. What are they looking for?
Yeah, they're not going to wade through a wall of text.
No way. So keep it snappy. Tell them what you do. Website, contact info, business hours. Boom, right there.
Exactly. Make it easy for them to find what they need and get in touch.
All right, so the foundation's laid. We've got a great-looking page. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How do we actually grow this thing? SocialWick, they were big on consistency, right? On Instagram, they actually recommend posting 3 times a week. A mix of, stuff that teaches people something, a bit of behind-the-scenes action, and then some straight-up promotional stuff. Now, think about your own Facebook audience. What kind of content mix would work for them? How often do you think you need to be showing up in their feed?
That's a really good question to consider. And while you're thinking about that, remember, it's not just about posting. You got to be engaging with people.
Oh, yeah, that back and forth,
It's huge. Like, SocialWick, they wouldn't shut up about it.
I bet.
Responding to comments, answering questions, maybe even jumping into some conversations in your niche.
It makes such a difference. It shows you're actually listening and that you care about what people are saying. Now, SocialWick talked about contests, and they had this interesting take. They weren't like, gung-ho, do a contest every week,
Really?
Yeah, they actually warned against doing them too much because they can create this kind of artificial spike in engagement that dies down super fast.
Right, like a sugar rush.
Totally. So they recommended being really strategic about contests. Do one that actually makes sense for your brand, offers real value to your audience.
That makes sense. Instead of just giving stuff away, think about how a contest can help you learn about your audience, maybe, or encourage them to interact with your brand in a more meaningful way.
Exactly. You could have like a photo contest where people show how they're using your products, or a caption contest. Get those creative juices flowing.
Exactly.
All right, now, this is where things get a little more techie, and I have to admit, this is the stuff that really gets me fired up. Facebook Insights.
Oh, the data.
Yeah, Facebook is sitting on this gold mine of information about your audience. And SocialWick, they talked about a similar feature on Instagram, and they were basically saying, if you're not using this data, you're leaving money on the table.
It's true. Insights can be a little overwhelming at first, but honestly, it's worth taking the time to figure it out.
So what's your advice? Where should our listeners start with Facebook Insights?
Okay, I'd say focus on a few key metrics. Don't try to look at everything at once. Start with reach, engagement, and website clicks.
Okay.
And then look for patterns. See what types of posts are getting the most views, the most likes, the most shares, and check when your audience is most active. That's super valuable.
Oh, it totally is.
Insights can also help you understand your audience demographics, things like age, location, interests. That kind of information can really help you tailor your content and target your ads more effectively.
Talking about targeted ads, SocialWick had some great advice about going beyond just basic demographics, right?
Right. They were talking about Instagram, but Facebook has similar capabilities.
Yeah, yeah, and it's pretty powerful stuff.
Imagine being able to put your message in front of people who have just moved to your city or are planning a wedding or have shown interest in products just like yours.
Whoa, that's some next level targeting.
It is, and you can do that with Facebook ads. The key is to start small, experiment with different targeting options, and see what works best for your audience.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from setting up your page to diving into the data and those super targeted ads. But let's talk about the content itself. SocialWick had this message, and it's so simple, but so powerful. Quality over quantity.
Yep. They really stress the importance of creating content that actually provides value to your audience.
Yeah, like, would you share this with your friends?
Right. Ask yourself that. Is it engaging? Is it informative? Is it entertaining? Ideally, it's all three. If you're not excited about it, chances are your audience won't be either.
And visually, I mean, Facebook is a visual platform. High-quality images, videos, that's what's going to stop people from scrolling.
Totally. And the good news is you don't need to be a professional designer to create stunning visuals. There are tons of tools out there to help you. Canva, for example, that's a great one. They have tons of templates and design elements that can really make your content pop.
Canva is awesome.
Right.
Okay, last thing before we wrap up. Calls to action. SocialWick, they were big on this. Every post should guide your audience towards a specific action.
Exactly.
Cool.
You've got their attention. They're engaged with your content. Now what do you want them to do? Visit your website, sign up for your newsletter, buy your product. Tell them.
Don't be shy. Learn more. Shop now. Sign up today. Make it super clear. So there you have it. Who knew we could learn so much about Facebook from an Instagram podcast?
Right. But honestly, the principles of engaging an audience, they're universal. Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, understanding your audience, creating valuable content, fostering those real connections, that's what matters.
And to wrap things up, one final thought for all of you listening. SocialWick, they spent a lot of time talking about Instagram stories and live video and how powerful they are for connecting with people in real time. So here's the question. How can you use similar features on Facebook, like Facebook Live or Stories, to build stronger relationships with your audience? Think about that. Get creative.
There are so many possibilities.
And that's a wrap. Until next time, happy Facebooking.
See you on the next deep dive.